What's up, everybody?
Hey, Steven, how are you? Steven Bartlett is here, I believe. Steve, I think you've already got your tickets for GunCon, don't you? I think you do.
I hope so. That would be awesome.
We've had people asking us for a while actually on lives about GunCon, John.
Good.
So people have been talking about it for a while. So even with us, which is exciting.
That's great. I mean, the people of Ohio are gun people largely, and being able to bring it a little closer to the East Coast is great. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, obviously I'm selfishly I'm very happy that it's here. But honestly, I think just in general, I think it's gonna be a lot easier place for people to get to cheaper to fly into.
Right.
But yeah, just all around, it should be very good. I'm excited that it ended up in our backyard.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm not mad about it. I mean, it's 10 hours closer to my house.
It'll be an easier drive in the van, that's for sure.
Yeah. No
It'll-
kidding.
A much easier run from the eastern side of PA for sure.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because we had people like when I talked about moving it, we had people saying, "Oh, move it here, move it there, move it there," and I had some of the weirdest requests, like, "Hey, move it to this podunk town 2 minutes from my house," and I'm like, "Guys, it's a thing. We gotta be able to reach as many gun owners as we can, and I think being that much closer to the hub of freedom in this half of the country at least is a good place."
Well, what I thought was super interesting last year, because last year was my first time being at GunCon. I know NeoMag is a company. I think has been there for 3 years
We've been in
now.
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was my first time being there. Was how many people had traveled to be there at the
Mhm.
event. Was last year was was a record-setting year for tickets, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, last year was absolutely bonkers. We sold out all the tickets last year. I don't know if we'll do that this year because we added even more.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But the turnout last year was crazy. It's
Well,
crazy.
and the thing that was crazy to me was that it wasn't necessarily the easiest place to get to with that. Like, it's not like Grinnell, Iowa is super close to an airport. There's not a whole lot out there, right? Like, it's kind of, you want to talk about a podunk town. I mean, Brownells is there, which is awesome, and they have a great facility, and that worked out great. But from a perspective of uh, space and access to facilities, it's not like it's not close to an airport. It's not
Right.
necessarily close to a bunch of hotels and all that other stuff. So I would imagine, or I would hope anyways, with it being close to an airport in a bigger city with more access to hotels and amenities and that kind of stuff, that it'll make it even easier for folks to come in.
I hope so. And I saw somebody bought a ticket that lives in Arizona. Last year we had people come down from Alaska
Hmm,
to be at GunCon, and it's crazy. We had people from I think 39 different states last year.
it's
You would
crazy.
kind of assume, based on like the size of the event, you would almost assume that it's like this very centralized thing, but we have people coming from all over. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. And I know that this year we have a lot to do in terms of educating the people in this part of the country about, like, hey, the event is doable. It's here now. Like, that sort of outreach needs to happen. And I think even as we continue to grow and evolve the event, that's just going to get better and better.
Yeah. So since we have you here, we got people that so we got more people coming on. Do you want to kind of give us which first of all, I just want to kind of tell everybody, if you're as you're watching this, if you have questions for John, uh, John is the originator of GunCon and the man behind all of it. So if you guys have questions about GunCon and all stuff like that, uh, go ahead and put them in the comments. But John, if you want to kind of give everybody just kind of the rundown, like
Sure.
why does GunCon exist? What's the and how's this going to work? Yeah, how to look for people.
Sure. So GunCon, for the public facing side of the event, we have a little bit more for industry folks, but The public event is June 28th, and we're having it in Cleveland, Ohio, at a place called the Twist Drill Building. It's like an old factory that's been converted into an event space. Pretty rad, like right off the lake. Super cool. And it's a way for us to collectively, pardon the pun, but it's collectively grow the gun community stronger and better every day. We bring in, I think this year we're at like 45-ish brands that'll be showing off their latest and greatest. We have products releasing at the event. We have brands launching at the event. I mean, you name it, we've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So no matter what part of the industry you're into, no matter what kind of guns you're into, we've got a brand that is very close to what you enjoy. Not only that, but we've got a whole bunch of content creators, like the people you watch every day. We've got them coming out so you can hang out, meet them. We've got guys that have brand new channels, have just been getting started this year, all the way up to people with millions of subscribers. We've got it all. I can go over some of the highlights a little bit after, once we get to that point. But so we've got creators, we've got brands, and we've got you guys. And one of the things that is great about the GunCon is that we've been doing live Q&A panels since before GunCon existed. And this year is no different. We're going to have the Second Amendment panel, which will be a bunch, like there's a few gun, what do you call them? Gun tubers that focus on the 2A space. They're going to be there. We've got Jared from Guns and Gadgets, Anthony from Armed Scholar, Paul from Legally Armed America. They're representing that side of things. Then we have a mix of the top 2A groups out there, which I think is really important, that it's not just one group and one opinion and one way to handle it. It's all of them. So we've got Adam Kraut from Second Amendment Foundation, Eric Pratt from GOA. These are the top guys. We've got John Comerford, who is the EVP of NRA ILA, and that was a request from the viewers. People wanted the NRA to be there so that they could ask them questions. So we made that happen. And then we have Travis White from FRAC, who is Firearms Regulatory Accountability Coalition, who comes at the 2A stuff from a slightly different angle, kind of from the industry side, which is great. I'm actually, as far as I know, the only media member of FRAC. I am a member of FRAC, and I love seeing that group. We need to be attacking this BS from all sides, and they are doing it from, not the civilian side, which is great. So that's our 2A panel. Then we have some other stuff in the works that may filter in between these, so stay tuned. We've got our next gen panel, which is creators that are up and coming, maybe haven't been doing it as long and are growing, people that I want to highlight, things like that. We've got Amber G. Johnson, Gamage is on there again, Tactical Advisor, Tactical Considerations, and Johnny B. And I don't know this for certain. I don't know where. We've got another panelist. She'll probably end up on the elite panel because she's been around a long time, but we've got somebody that's like in the works, which is really cool. Then we have a fireside chat after this. Like, we're still going. This is all one day, all at the same time. This is just bonkers. So then we have a fireside chat with the Missouri State Attorney General, Andrew Bailey, who is somebody that has been fighting against censorship and big tech. And I think it'd be really good to have them there. They are, Bailey is big on being a gun owner and pushing back. And he even sued China and won some $1 billion law. It was crazy. Some lawsuit. He's great. They're going to be there, him and his team. And then we have the elite panel, which is the guys that have been at it forever. I've been doing gun tube type stuff for like 13 years, something like that, maybe a little bit longer. 14. Yeah, 14. Holy crap, I'm old. So I'll be on that panel. Then we've got Sean from We Like Shooting, Curtis from VSO Gun Channel, Kevin Dixie will be on that, Mr. Guns and Gear will be on that one. I'm probably going to miss somebody. Ashley Lubinsky is going to be on there. She's a great historian for firearm stuff. She's been doing this stuff for a long time. And I'm not going to announce the other person just yet. And I can't believe I'm forgetting somebody. I feel like, I don't know. It's on the website. It's on the website.
It's almost.
Yeah, so that's all going on at the same time that the brands will be there. And one of the things that I think is very important for the event is that we try and take care of the people attending, especially as the event continues to grow and evolve. I want to make sure that the people that are here supporting in the early days of the event, this is only year 4. So I want to make sure that those people are appreciated. So the tickets this year also include a lunch ticket, which will, we bring in a whole bunch of food trucks. I mean, your lunch is $20 anywhere you go these days. So your lunch is included with the ticket, as well as a GunCon t-shirt. It won't be this one. It will be slightly different because it is limited edition for this year only. So that's going to happen. All that's included, plus access to the event. We have brands giveaway. I think last year we did like $50,000 in stuff. I mean, just the variety in stuff that gets given away is absolutely incredible. And
were awesome last year.
Yeah. We spent, I think I was calling out numbers for over an hour last year and just doing stand-up essentially, which was fun. But yeah, we've got all that stuff happening all in one day in Ohio. And if you are an enthusiast at all, you should be there.
Yeah, this is not your grandpa's gun show.
No.
No,
it definitely is not.
It's not your local gun show. Frankly, this is not a NRA show or anything like that. There's really it's really pretty unique. I think people to come to where they can actually come and see these companies. Most of the brands owners are there and stuff. A lot of times,
Yep.
So you're actually meeting the person behind those brands, and then be able to meet some of these people that you're watching on YouTube and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's great. How much are tickets and where can people get them?
So you can go to guncon.net to find out any info about it and get your tickets. The tickets this year are $50. So it's $50. That includes that lunch, that includes that t-shirt, and it includes getting into the event.
Nice.
That's really not a bad price at all for everything that's included.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate that.
The access to the event. So
an opportunity to walk away winning.
I'll say
too, you can get that money back.
I think, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but every company gives away something, right? Isn't that kind of the deal?
Yeah, so we're doing the giveaways get done a little bit different this year. I kind of encourage everybody to give something away that's worth at least $250 in value or more, like either a package or multiple items, whatever. It's an evolving thing every year. Last year we did tickets at the door and I managed it, and I'm trying to not manage it this year because it's absolutely insane to manage like 50 giveaways or whatever. So this year we're going to be letting all the brands control it. I'll still do the announcements and whatnot, but all the brands are going to be able to have their own version of a giveaway, which almost is more exciting because there could be competitions that you could enter. There could be random stuff. You could be made to do something funny for social media. Who knows? Who knows? It could be bland. It could be fun. You just have to come and find out.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Mike in the comments said, I love free stuff. Everyone loves free stuff.
Hold on.
Did you break it?
Well, I think we're good.
I was getting a call.
Yeah, I always enjoy trying to deal with that kind of stuff while you're on a thing.
I mean, we had, if I remember correctly, there was a bunch of firearms given away, which of course weren't given away at the event, but access to the firearms, the vouchers or whatever were given away.
Right.
There was reloading stuff given away, clay throwers given away. Man, I can't remember. There was all sorts of cool stuff. It was a fun event, and honestly, the crowd was super into it. It was fun to watch, but really, just the event overall was just super fun. It was cool to watch the panels. It was cool for everyone to watch the panels. For those of you guys that have not gotten the chance to go to an event and meet your favorite YouTube influencer, and they're all out there at these events, it's super cool. Because these guys, when they're not on the panel, are just walking around and hanging out. It's not like they're in some green room separate from everybody, behind some closed door or something like that. They're just walking around and hanging out until they go up on stage and talk to people. So it's super, super cool. So a lot of fun. It's a really neat event.
Ty Brimmer was asking about parking. Do you know what parking situation is?
So we're working on getting a hold of some nearby lots to make sure that we have some space. But otherwise, there's street parking. It's Cleveland. So there's an enormous, and we're in an industrial part of the city. So we're going to shut down like a little block for the food trucks and whatnot, but there is a lot of street parking in that area. There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of parking lot, just lots around.
Yeah, yeah.
Around that place. So
I think there's also some parking garages in that area, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that I didn't feel like we needed to chase it too much. We're going to try and get some lots that are like right next to it to make it easier on folks. But there's so much parking in that area. It shouldn't be a concern at all. And I know this question will come up. This comes up all the time. People have asked about carrying concealed in the facility because that's an issue. And, I want to point out that most big trade show type events or big event like NRA annual meeting and some of the other ones, you're not allowed to carry. You're not supposed to carry. I'll say that. You're not supposed to. The event venue does not want that. I cleared it with our event venue. You are okay to carry. So just be aware of that. I made sure that that's part of the reason we didn't get started this year with announcing it and all that until a little bit later in the year, because I chased all of the event centers in the northeast corner of Ohio trying to get a place where people could carry. That's important. I mean, I put out a poll and I think it was like 75% of people said this is a make or break thing.
Sure.
So I said, okay, well, we're going to make sure that that's a part of it. And you'll be able to carry your legally concealed firearm in our event.
Yeah, it's always seemed crazy to me that these events are in places where you're not allowed to carry. Like,
isn't that wild? Isn't that wild?
It's always been
It's a gun event.
Yeah, it's a gun event.
So you're literally celebrating guns and you can't carry one in it. It doesn't make any sense.
And
it makes no sense at all.
And even if people aren't going to carry at this event, which is there's some valid reasons maybe not carrying a crowded crowded space, but at least we're going someplace where we're supporting a place that supports carry. So if nothing else, then at least we're supporting them.
Right.
Yeah, Mike said we should do it on Epstein Island. I think that's what you were laughing about earlier.
Yes, that would be, I would say, cost prohibitive. Probably those flights, probably pretty expensive. Also, a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to avoid the weird stuff.
I've been to these events. There's always weird stuff.
I was gonna say, I don't think you're avoiding the weird stuff. You're just avoiding additional.
I'm avoiding a very specific kind of weird stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Ty Boomer said he's already got his tickets.
Oh, awesome!
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I agree.
I think we're gonna be giving away Nate's truck. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. He's got a nice Dodge pickup.
You're giving away his truck?
Yeah.
I mean, we could absolutely like facilitate that.
We could like pull it into the event and
yeah.
Right? Oh, isn't that what you said?
Am I getting refunded?
No.
What do you think? No. This is out of the goodness of your own heart for the Second Amendment, you jerk.
I guess I don't have that much love for the Second Amendment. I really need my truck.
All right, I guess we'll do that.
Sorry, not this time.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to Dodge anyway. So it's fine.
I don't.
Yeah,
well. Don't make that face, Nate. Don't do it.
I mean, that's fair. How very generous, Nate, for that. I don't know that anyone at this event is going to want my Ram. I'm just saying.
No, that's a nice.
Is it a diesel?
No, it is not.
Then I definitely don't want it.
Right? I mean, I get it, man. I get it.
How's your van coming along?
You know what? My van is sitting in New Hampshire right now. The amount of delays that I have run into with this freaking project. I mean, it's been. I think the first parts went on in spring of 2023, and it's still not done. And like I feel like the things that I asked to happen of the project were not complicated, but boy oh boy, the industry did not like anything custom. Like they all want you to kind of rubber stamp it. Mm-hmm. And the second I was like, well, what about adding another window? Like the world imploded and made it 10 times more difficult. So it's being built. I don't know if it will even be done by GunCon. We're going to try to get it done, but I don't know. I really don't.
I'll say because you had it at GunCon last year, right?
Mhm.
Didn't you drive it out?
Yeah, so it just didn't have the interior yet.
Yeah.
So I made that happen for this year, and we kind of got delayed significantly with. It's a whole thing. It's
Yeah.
like just months and months of waiting on other people that are. I mean, it's a small cottage industry where nobody takes themselves well. I shouldn't say nobody. Very few brands are run by people that take themselves seriously or business seriously. So
Mm.
you run into the issue of piss poor customer service, just giving up on projects entirely, and going, "Oh well, I had a bad day, so I'm not going to work." And then 3 months later, I don't have my parts.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
yeah,
fun.
super fun.
That's a good experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it.
So let's kind of go back to the GunCon. Like, what would be what's your like dream for GunCon? Let's say 2, 5, 10 years, whatever down the road. Like, what would you like to see it be like?
That is a really, really challenging question because it's it was never something I planned on having. Like GunCon just kind of every time it's grown, it's kind of been like, well, I guess we'll try this and see if it works, and it happens to work. It's been like that sort of evolution. Um, we've had a lot of requests for GunCon to happen in other parts of the country. And I think we, in the future may be able to do multiple events a year,
Mm.
which I think would be really interesting because there isn't a gun related event like that right now. Um, and when I think of how that would work, I kind of look to Overland Expo as a sort of guiding light. Like they're able to pull that off. I'm almost wondering if we could do that. I don't, this is all question marks. I keep telling, like, I get requests like, oh, you should have it in my town or whatever. And I go, we have to get through this year. We have to make Cleveland work this
Right.
year. It has to happen. It has to be a success. Everybody has to be happy. We have to check all the boxes to be able to do it again next year. So for me, it's very much like, I guess paycheck to paycheck is like, we have to make sure that that thing goes off without a hitch every single year so that we can continue to grow and evolve it. And, you say 10 years, I don't even know.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no foresight into what that looks like. I've seen people in our comments like, oh, you should try to take on SHOT Show. And in my mind, SHOT Show is a disaster.
Yeah, please do
Yeah.
not.
Right. Right. Like perhaps we reach more individual gun owners over
Yeah.
time. That could be cool. But I certainly don't want to have a gigantic event like SHOT with those gigantic booths. I mean, if people haven't been to GunCon or seen the stuff, we don't do the giant booths.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. Everybody gets the same size space, and it's very casual. Perhaps is the best way to put it. It's relaxed. It's more like a neighborhood barbecue hangout than it is a trade event, and that's on purpose. That's very much on purpose. And the name tags, like the badges that everybody gets, they have no names on them. It doesn't have a name on them on purpose. Because my whole thing is all of these big events that you go to, the first thing that people do is look at your chest and see who you are, what your name is, and if they validate you. And that's nonsense. I want people to go up and have conversations and build relationships. And with that in mind, if that means we do multiple a year in different areas of the country, that would be pretty neat. But I have no idea how to execute on that. My background is not in event planning, but we're making it work,
Yeah.
And the thing is that I think is pretty cool is we're able to do this with a pretty small team. I'm not out there, with 30 people making it happen. We don't do that. It costs too much. I want to make this affordable for the industry, affordable for the people that come, and grow it slowly and efficiently and with reason so that it doesn't get out of hand and become a disaster.
Right.
I was gonna say the SHOT Show. I mean, obviously, it's restricted anyways to the individual user, but even if it wasn't, I feel like it'd be cost prohibitive for 90% of normal people,
Right.
anyways. Um, I mean, and again, like you stated, the GunCon's goal is to reach the average guy that's trying to jump on YouTube and watch Gun Collective or watch Tactical Consideration or Mr. Guns and Gear or any of your average gun enthusiast. Like that's who we're trying to reach with GunCon. So if it's going to get SHOT Show big, then it's going to become cost prohibitive, and then they can't come. So what's the point?
Right. And at the end of the day, this has to involve three different things. It has to involve brands, it has to involve content creators, and most importantly, it has to involve the public. And if any one of those things becomes like missing from the equation, then it just doesn't work. It's not the same event anymore.
Yeah.
So Mike was asking what the difference is between GunCon and TriggerCon. I've not been to TriggerCon. Have you?
Nope. No. I have seen some stuff from TriggerCon. I don't know enough about it, and I certainly don't want to badmouth an event I've never been to.
Right.
I am well aware that we run things a little differently. I am very well aware of that. We just operate differently. The content creators that I know are like we bring out a lot more content creators. We bring out different brands, and it's not. I don't know a word to use that doesn't sound a little bit like I'm throwing mud, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to sling mud at all.
Yeah.
We're just different. You know, we focus on community building as opposed to whatever they're working on. That's our pillar. You know, that's the tent pole in the center is building the gun community stronger. And I think with everything being focused towards that, I think we just have a different event than some of the others for sure.
Yeah, I think you said it well. That it's like a barbecue. It is just so relaxed. It's almost I know before we said it that, you know, this is not your grandpa's gun show, but it almost has some of that vibe of like it's a bunch of tables set up with a bunch of companies, you know, bigger brands there. So it has that similar vibe. But there's so much more going on at this than your average gun show. But it really is a very very fun, relaxed day.
I mean, I think I don't remember the show. The actual public facing show was 8 hours, right, John? Give or take.
Something like that. Yeah.
So we'll say we stood at the table for 8 hours, and I think from the moment the doors open and you started letting the public in to the end of the giveaway, we essentially didn't stop talking to people. Like people came in and they walked up to the table and we.
I think he's getting another phone call. We can only hope. I'm just going to sit here and talk to you guys. Somebody in the comments said that seems thoughtful. I actually like knowing who I'm talking to because it means they could be C-suite engineer, seasoned shooter, etc. And that seems more genuine. And I wholeheartedly agree. I think that's a wonderful thing. If we can sort of bring down that barrier of like, who are you? And do you matter to me? I think if we can do that, I think it'd be a really good thing. Sorry, I was talking to your audience while you had a blackout there.
No, you're good. I'm glad you're here.
No, what I was saying, like from the moments those doors opened to the end of the giveaways, we were talking to people, and it was great. Like it was just casual. We were hanging out, and with the exception of maybe walking away from lunch, I don't think we had any lull actually, and I don't think that was. I mean, which I will say was a long day, not in a bad way, just a long day. There's a point where you're like, okay, I'm tired of talking. For someone that's not an extroverted person, that gets to be a long day. But from a perspective of an event, it's great. Like you get to talk about product, you get to talk about the brand, you get to talk to people, and it was enjoyable from that perspective. Very much barbecue-esque, very casual, very. It was nice to have an event that was not super businessy.
Yeah.
You know,
I am like the least businessy person.
Yeah, which was super nice, and I think the attendees were appreciated that as well. It was very very accessible to everybody.
Do you think in the future that could be a multiple day thing and maybe a range day in there as well for the public, or are those things you kind of just want to stay away from?
You know, I have been asked about a public range day many, many times over, and my response has been it's an insurance nightmare.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I don't want people to just stand in line all day.
Yeah.
Because every public range day I've ever been to is a stand in line festival, not a shooting thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want that. If we do a public range day, it has to be executed properly. And I don't know if we're going to have to charge a fortune. I don't know how to do it yet so that it's not awful. I don't want the experience to be terrible. I want you to be able to go around and be like, this was amazing. You know, I think if we do a public range day in the future, it will be intentional in the way that it's done. It will probably be an expensive ticket, at least initially, to make sure that we don't overload everybody. Because we could open the doors and have 3,000 people in there, and then nobody's having fun. That sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want that. So I'm not exactly sure how to execute on it and make sure that everybody's happy and having a good time, because that's my sort of north star with that. There was another part of that question, and I don't remember what it was.
I was just doing a multiple day show.
Oh, sure, yeah. So that's absolutely possible. I think once the event kind of gets to a certain amount of people and a certain amount of brands, it becomes impossible to do everything in one day. I mean, we're already pretty close to that.
Yeah.
You know, we're close to that, and I don't. Again, this is all like I don't know what next year is going to look like yet because we haven't gotten through this year, but that is possible. A multi-day event is 100% possible, and a public range day is possible. It's just not happening this year. You know.
Right. Cool.
Patriotic Penguin, yeah. Shot is inaccessible for a couple reasons. Obviously, it's restricted to those in the industry. The other thing, from a perspective of walking shot, I mean, John, it's been a little while from your since you've been a shot, but like, I mean, it's hard. I think this was my fourth year at shot. I don't remember. We'll say it was my fourth or fifth year at shot. I can't remember how many shots I've been at, and I'm familiar with the event, and I'm still struggling to find everything.
Yeah, I've never actually seen the whole show. I've been going for like 10 years. I've just never actually seen the whole thing.
And there's a lot of reasons shot is inaccessible.
They prefer it that way.
Yeah. GunCon is not. It is. While it's, I mean, I'm not sure how many tickets you're selling this year, John, but I would say it's a, even though there's, I think you sold 1,000 tickets or something like that last year. Well, 1,000 is a lot of people. It still felt like an intimate event, is what I'll call it. It just
Sure.
it seemed casual, intimate. Everyone was there. It wasn't a big deal to walk around. It didn't seem packed, and I mean that in a positive way. Like, it didn't seem uncomfortably full. It seemed comfortably full. Like,
Sure.
everyone had a chance to talk to who they wanted to talk to and do what they wanted to do, which I think is what is a huge deal for it.
I don't disagree. I don't.
I was gonna say what Penguin's saying here about, like if you did a range day, you'd almost have to do like time slots. This group of people has a 2, 3, 4 hour time slot or whatever, and then you swap people in and out. You could do a pre-lunch, after lunch, something like that. Yeah, that's about the only way I could see something like that.
My girlfriend actually suggested the exact same thing, and she's got a lot of experience with event planning in her career path. So I think that's a great idea. We just, again, it's not something we could pull off. We did the thing this year was all about moving. Like we were going to relocate and try and grow the event, and I think we'll heavily look at that for next year. No promises, but we're going to heavily take a look at it.
Ty Boomer has a great idea. Disney Fast Passes, but for guns.
Oh my Lord, no. No. Not unless you got 10 grand. That's what a fast pass will cost. I am not dealing with the crybaby nonsense that will come from that. It won't come from the people that pay for the fast pass. It'll come from everybody that didn't get one, didn't know about it or something. Man, I didn't get one. And I'm going to be like, that's it. That's the only look I'm going to just, no. No. Everybody gets the same. Communism, but guns.
Everyone did it. Communism but guns. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cool. Well, I appreciate all that. Again, John's going to hang out we got another 20, 25 minutes. So we're going to show you some products that we have that we just launched that we are getting ready to launch. John said that he would kind of hang around. In the meantime, if you have any questions that come up, please pop in and let us know what those are. Which one should we start with? We want to kind of recap.
Start with rigs.
Okay. So on last Friday, we launched a new product line that is unlike anything we've done before. And I'm going to be honest, it's not the most groundbreaking, amazing product out there. It's our take on a
existing product.
Existing product, although it does a couple things that no other product does. So RIGS, RIGS is what we call it. It's an acronym for Rifle
Integrated Grip
System. I have so many acronyms in my head right now. And so I'm going to bring it up to the camera. There's a few things that I really wanted this to do. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
So intimate, so close.
So intimate. So we are machining these out of 6061 aluminum. It's got it's like a nice tactile texture to it here. Nice grip, but it's not going to shred your hands up either. It's not going to shred up your gloves or anything. Just kind of a little fun fact for you. That shape is actually the same shape as the NeoMag plate, top of the plate. So that's what I use for that. And we have a ton of wire management routing underneath here. So one of the things that really makes us unique from the others, because there are a couple other rifle covers handguard covers out there that have wire management, but ours is the only one that has it the entire way around. So I got some shot cord here to kind of show you so you can see a little better. So we can clamp down on the ends. This is the 2 slot. We also have a single slot. This cute little guy right here also has wire management the entire way around and 1 slot through the middle. And you can really run cable
however you
want through this thing.
Dude, that is super cool.
Yeah, it weighs, I couldn't even weigh it in ounces because it weighed so little. I had to weigh it in grams. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I think YouTube will let me do this because it's not a complete gun.
It did the other night.
It did the other night when we did it. So this is what it looks like on so I got a Maul and a light, and this was a wired nightmare before. There were just cables everywhere, and I was actually able to run the light runs the whole way down and back, and then the Maul kind of runs like halfway down and back. So this is what it looks like mounted to here. And then I don't know why I've not seen anybody else do this. And this is something, again, it's not necessarily unique to the rigs. You can do this with some of the other handguard covers out there, but using it as a rifle sling mount point. So we're actually selling these cables. You don't have to use our cable. You can use paracord if you want. You can use, you do whatever you want. But we have these really nice crimped cables that we're selling. So the nice thing about this is it's so quick to detach. It's not that hard to unloop your sling. But lays perfectly flat. It's not knocking around, making a bunch of noise. It's pretty cheap and inexpensive. So you can do this with the single slot and the double slot. You can see I have one here that's just not being used for anything. It's just there. So so that's what it looks like mounted up there. I set up a few of these rifles for a few people, and there's all kinds of crazy wire routing that some of these rifles need with these things. So these are available now. The other thing that we were able to do with these, since we make these in-house, we're able to price these really competitively. We're about 25% underneath what our other competitors would be. So and if you buy, and we have this as a double pack, you save an additional 10% when you buy as a double pack. We have double pack for the single slot and double pack for the double slot rigs.
Are you able to say what the full retail is on that?
Yeah, so the single slot, I believe, are 20.
That sounds right. So if you buy one single slot, it's 20. I'll pull it up right now off the website.
Okay.
So that we have.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love the idea of running a sling behind that with paracord or that cable, so it's super quiet.
Well,
like you're not like a jingly mess.
It's super quiet, it's super low profile, and it's super lightweight. And honestly, the other issue that I've had, I actually am fairly anti QD at this point because the amount of times that I've had a QD just pop loose
I've had QDs fail.
out of the cup. Now I don't know if it's something that I screwed up. I'm not going to say that I'm doing it right. Maybe I bought a poorly manufactured QD mount, or maybe the actual sling mounting. I don't know what you want to call the actual coupling for the sling is. I don't know which one of them is bad. Maybe I bought some poorly manufactured ones of both of them. But the issue is when you go to bring your rifle up and your sling just falls off, it's irritating. And
That's a problem.
well, and honestly, at this point, all of the rifles I have a dedicated sling. So why do I need a QD? I don't.
Yeah, I'm not changing slings. I don't know who.
I don't need to change slings, and I understand maybe there's some high-speed guy out there that needs to be able to drop his sling quickly because he's fallen out of his helicopter and he's in the water and his rifle's dragging him to the bottom of the ocean and he's got to drop his rifle or something. I don't know. There might be a reason. I don't know. But am I high speed falling out of a helicopter and drowning? No. I am LARPing on the range with my rifle, and my sling is not going anywhere. So mounting it hard down to that panel is fine. And honestly, if I really need to get it off, I'll pull out my pocket knife that I always have and I'll cut my sling and call it a day.
That's fair.
All right. So the single slot is $19.99. The double slot is $29.99. And then if you buy the single slot 2-pack, it's $35.99, and the double slot 2-pack is $53.99.
Yeah, honestly, the double pack is the way to go.
Yeah,
are you gonna be able to do like a double single combo? Is that a thing? So I think that would be pretty handy.
It's not currently, but we could. So far, I think 99% of the ones we've sold are the double packs. That's
I think the double. You should call it that, by the way. The double.
Double single, double.
The double is probably the best execution of that concept that I've seen. I'm not heavy into that market, but I think that's a really neat way to handle it. Plus, when you're using the Sentry strap to stage everything, like you can keep it all nice tight to the gun, and then rock and roll. And you're not, like I said, I really don't like when you can hear a guy moving around. It's just jingling stuff, just everything rattling, and it's super neat that you can keep it all nice and tight.
Yeah, it's nice and quiet. Like I said, the cool part, I mean, even the best QDs are still a little bulky, and this is super low profile.
Yeah.
Like super duper low profile.
Yeah, it looks super slim.
Yeah, they're 0.2 inches thick. Is not the slimmest. There are ones out there now. They don't have wire routing.
Well, at that point, it's not even it's not even the same product.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's probably comparable thickness wise to any other ones out there that have wire routing, because you have to be able to fit a wire underneath it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's more of an issue of how thick the wire is rather than the product itself, because you have to be able to cover the wire.
Exactly. Yeah.
But even honestly, even on a super slim handguard, it's not going to add so much thickness that.
Honestly, with all the stuff I have on this thing, the thickness of the thickness of the handguard covers are not what I'm worried about too much on this.
Right.
It's true. But it adds some really neat capability to the whole platform. But yeah, 90% of what we've sold so far has been surprisingly, John, has been the double single pack.
Really?
Yep. That's the one that we've been moving the most of so far, which is cool. I'm excited to see people actually running it and see what they think.
We'll be adding FDE tan version as soon as I get some anodizing samples in.
How about an OD green? Is that a thing?
It's possible.
I guess you could paint it if you really needed that for now until you come out with one.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have some other colors. I'm also planning on doing a 3-slot, because why not?
Sure.
So I've got some other ideas for the whole kind of rigs concept outside of these. Is kind of our starting point. So
be on the lookout.
Yeah. So we'll be doing some more with this line of product.
I could see some really good value for like IR type stuff on like a coyote hunting rig or something like that.
Yeah.
With a slightly longer rail distance, where you may, if you're shooting prone or from a tripod or something, and you don't want to reach way out on a longer rifle, that could be cool if you had them like staged along the side for like an actuator way back. That's neat.
Just reading. So.
Uh-oh, pink anodizer.
Pink anodizer. There we go.
I mean,
let's not. How about that? Let's just not.
There you go. Mike just dropped a link.
Or we could be like Smith with the steel and do blue. And go with all that blue ano because that's super sexy. Yeah. Yuck.
I'm just gonna be over here doing not that.
Yeah, not that.
All right, we got one more line of product I'm going to show you, and then I'm just going to remind everybody I will be dropping in a discount code for our insiders. If you're on our insiders list, you can use this code, and you can use the code on the Riggs handguard covers and anything else on our website. So just hang around for one more minute, and we'll drop you that link. So one of the most popular custom shops that we have ever done is the Beskar. Are you a Star Wars Mandalorian guy at all? Okay, so we did a Beskar edition NeoMag. Now I think we just did NeoMag and EDC tray. We've added a couple more products to this year. We are bringing back the Beskar. We did not do it last year. We've been getting hounded ever since to do it. So we're bringing back. This is still a little bit of a design. We still had. I don't know if you can really see the detail. We're gonna have some awesome
There
pictures.
You go.
We're gonna have some great pictures up online on the website on Friday. These will drop on Friday. There's got the little mud horn on there. This is a deep etch. Actually, you can hear that. Actually has some texture to it. Blown deadline. Always did this in the past. Mike passed away a year ago, and so that's one of the reasons why we didn't do it last year. Mike with blown deadline, he was an awesome guy, and thankfully he trained up some amazing people that still know how to kill it doing this stuff. So we're gonna have the NeoMag. I'm saving that for last. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So I'll show you the tray.
The big tray.
Big tray. So we got the big tray. Again, we got the Beskar lasered, and these spots right here did a really nice job with the Cerakote. Kind of, you can see some blacks in there. They kind of did like a nice wash on it, and it's actually kind of has a little bit of a shine to it, but there's still some black in there. I think it's awesome.
That's super clean. I like that it's not gaudy or like over the top.
Yeah,
because it would be very easy to Star Wars prop and just be a little too much. I think that's a classy way to handle that.
Yeah. Even if you're let's say you're a huge Star Wars guy and Mandalorian guy, but your wife isn't. This isn't something that she's gonna hate sitting out. It's not. Yeah, it's not this. It's got ungodly.
Super obnoxious.
And then since then we've come out with a couple more products that we're also bringing with the Beskar. One is the mini tray. It's a little bit harder to show in the light. This is just done with Cerakote. This was a huge space to laser this all. Would have been very expensive, but there is a Beskar. You can see a little better there.
There you
go. There's a Beskar Cerakote pattern done to it. So this is going to be available in the mini EDC tray, and then this is our favorite of all the things we got. The tack trap, which tack trap's just one of our favorite products, but the tack trap.
It turned out so good.
Did a Beskar front.
That looks really, really nice.
And back. The back is done too. So this thing, even the inside, they did the kind of Cerakote wash.
That's
on
neat.
The inside of it. Just
they blew it out of the water.
Super cool. I love this. Honestly, the tack trap's probably the thing that gets used by the most. It gets used the most out of all these for a lot of people. So this is going to be very cool. So yeah, just Beskar everything. Beskar rigs. Right. We can maybe do a Beskar rigs next year too. That would be cool.
That'd be super cool.
I mean, you have a lot of the rigs is aluminum, right?
Yeah. It is.
So you could easily incorporate that in a full. You already do your custom shop stuff, so you could easily include that in a themed pack or something. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Ty Boomer, that is the EDC tack trap.
EDC.
So, yep. ESB, that is laser engraved on the tack trap.
The only thing that is not deep etch laser is the mini tray. Everything.
Yep.
The NeoMag, the large tray, and the tack trap all are deep etch laser and actually have a texture. This is a sweet setup right here. Getting these two.
I like that.
Hey, Richard Lee, to answer your question on a product, The best, I think, based on what I just looked up, the best product for you to work with your Tolster contour would be the Alias pancake wings. Go check that out on the Alias page. The Alias pancake wings will be the thing for you.
Mike, that discount code's wrong. That's why I hadn't given it yet. It's gonna be just the letter B, not BE. May. That's the discount code for our insiders. Gonna be the letter B.
Delete that.
May.
Can we delete a comment? Yes.
Probably not. Not till you're done. I don't know. I don't know.
I removed it.
Look at that. Look at that. It's so fancy.
I can do it.
All right, go and put it in
So
there.
how is it?
Ghana, G-O-N-N-A.
G-O-N-N-A.
The letter B.
B. May. For
John, sing it. Come on, John, sing it.
I'm not doing it.
Come on.
I'm not doing it. You have to earn that.
How about
it's gonna be May?
It's gonna cost you 1 Dodge Ram.
I'll sing it without that. It's fine. No problem.
Yeah, but your version's not as cool.
Oh,
because there's not in-sync lights behind you.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair.
It could be. Your truck needs more. Needs more.
No, but I'm not in the basement though. I'm not in the basement, John.
Yeah, and shut up, Nate.
Cool. Yeah. So Riggs is out now, shipping immediately. The Beskar stuff will be hitting the website Friday between 12 and 1 or something like that.
Yep.
I'll keep an eye out for the email. And if you are on the insiders list, you can use that discount code. If you're not on the insiders list, when you go to our website, then you.
And it's another phone call.
That was weird. Yeah, I don't see a call come up, but it just shows me.
It just blacks you out for some reason?
Well, there was a call, but they're blocked numbers, and it still does it.
That's super frustrating.
As I was saying, if you're not an insider, when you go to the neomag.com, there's a pop-up that will come up. You can sign up for insiders there. That will also kick you another 15% off discount code. So you're actually going to get 2 codes for the price of none, because you didn't have to pay for either of them.
Aren't we so kind?
So kind. And yeah, make sure you go to what's GunCon's website again?
GunCon.net.
GunCon.net. Guys, if you can come out to this, I promise you,
it's well worth the money.
It'll be worth it. You'll be happy that you came. You get to come visit Cleveland. I was gonna say it's sunny, but I can't guarantee you that.
We'll just call it regular Cleveland.
We're just regular old Cleveland.
You can come experience the lake. I'm just gonna call it that. Lake.
Since everyone's promising my truck, I'm gonna promise that you can come and stroke John's wonderful beard.
Oh, don't you dare!
Oh,
don't you even.
You can come stroke Nate's beard. You can stroke both beards. I bet you could get
same time.
Same time. You might get superpowers if you get to do that.
That's true.
That would be incredible. It's like when somebody was holding Thor's hammer, and who was it? Was it Iron Man could pick up Thor's hammer? It's the same thing. Same thing.
Just like that. Just like that.
And you could go see a not Indians Guardians game.
Yep.
I don't know if there'd be any other sports going on then, but
the Guardians are playing. What's the St. Louis team?
Cardinals?
Yes, they're playing the Cardinals that weekend. That's part of how the Missouri folks are spending their time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. There's the Rock Hall. There's the Science Center's cool. There's actually quite a bit to do there. There's some really great eating.
There's actually some really good food up there.
Some amazing restaurants. If you can get into the Marble Room, you're gonna have to make your reservations yesterday to get in there.
Yep.
But if you can get into the Marble Room, that will blow your socks off. So, but
and if you guys haven't, go follow the Gun Collective on
Gun
YouTube and Instagram and all those other things. Support John. John does some really cool stuff. I personally am a big fan of when he gets on there and goes 60-second gun news and yells at me. That's always my favorite.
Yeah,
just right here, punching air.
Yeah,
just right here.
It's always a win. But go check him out. He's always got good stuff coming out. And then you can go meet him at GunCon. Say hello.
Okay. I'll be running like an absolute lunatic that day, but you can come say hi.
Well,
it'll be like hi.
Will Mama Patton be there again?
Yeah, Mom's gonna be there again.
Yes, because she's awesome.
That's great. The whole I'm trying to convince my brother and his family to come out. You know, just to keep GunCon relaxed.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and
relax
I'm
for everyone but you, apparently.
Yeah, except for you.
well. That's fine. That's fine. If I carry the weight of the world that day for one day, we're good. Everybody else have a good time. I will carry the world.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah,
deal.
it's gonna be awesome. I appreciate you guys having me on here. I as a side note, I think it's really important if you're watching this to understand that NeoMag as a company has supported TGC almost longer than anybody else. I think it was very early. I want to say it was like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
We
In
launched in
2015. I remember I was standing in my basement, around several dozen NeoMags, maybe. And I was talking to you on the phone and trying to figure out how a baby, brand new, not even technically company yet could work with you. And I'll never forget how you helped me do that, because I can't remember the arrangement that we came up with, but you made it possible for me to do, and yeah, I'll never forget that. So
That's
you've been
great.
you've been a big supporter of mine ever since day one, basically. And it goes both ways. So
I'm just gonna do like here. Meet me with the high five right here. Yeah, look at that.
Look at
Technology allows such things to
I was
happen.
gonna
Yes.
kiss your cheek. Mwah.
It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get weird.
Like I
But
said, just because we're not on Epstein Island doesn't mean it's not going to be weird at GunCon. Just saying.
it's true. It's true. I just want people to know that like you guys you've had my back for the better part of a decade. Like TGC in June will be 10 years old. So we started June 15th of 2015. So very soon we will be officially 10 years old, and you guys have had our back for that long. And I think it's really important for people out there that don't already support you guys, that may have come over from TGC, to continue to do that. Support NeoMag and check out the what the rigs and the new Beskar stuff. That's cool. Plus all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I think the Alias system is one of the best things to hit EDC in an entire decade. I think it's a fantastic product line, and they keep coming out with new cool stuff.
Yeah,
We appreciate it, John.
I got to get in behind this camera. I got, I don't know, 4 or 5 more new products sitting back behind this too. We are constantly working on trying to come up with cool things and serve our customers, and
Good.
so yep, always working on it. But John, I love you. Thank you so much
Love you too, buddy.
for hopping on here. I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple of months. It's gonna be here before you know it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I still have time.
I'm not ready either. So
Awesome. Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate you.
All right,
yep,
John.
thank you guys, and thank you everybody for coming and watching and listening. And if you are just catching up, don't worry. Once this ends, you can go back and watch it again. It'll stay up on our account. So, yep, sounds good.
Appreciate you guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.